Well, in a year of lockdown, many industries have had to find new ways of conducting their business. Well, Derek Cikes is a commercial director at Payflex. It is a part payment platform. He joins us now to talk about how the retail sector has responded or how it's coping with the new normal. Derek, a very good morning. Thanks so much for your time. So let's look at some of the changes. And we know many of us, yes, getting to grips with online, some of us having very little choice, having to download certain apps to get our groceries and all of that over the past year. What did you notice as the key changes to retail over the past year or so?
Morning, and morning to your viewers. I think you said it best at the start of the hour, where you said at the beginning of last year everyone was rushing out and buying tin goods and toilet paper. I think that's the biggest change over the years, that the need for toilet paper has decreased dramatically from where we were this time last year. But, you know, we've done a couple of analyses over the year, and we've also just had a general look at what's been going on. And the first thing that's clearly abundantly different is that there's a massive number of new people shopping online. And in general, the online trade has exploded. You know, give you an idea, the predictions for 2020 in terms of rand amount spent online was going to be 20 billion rand. The latest stats that have come out says that around 62 billion rand was spent in the online trade last year alone. So that's a 3 times growth in 1 year. And that was the kind of growth that we were expecting over 10 years. So a massive number of people turning to online for obvious reasons.
Well, does this then show that as consumers, because I had a deep distrust of online shopping, I wouldn't buy because I just didn't know what I was going to get. Was it going to be what I wanted? Was it going to be expired? Was it going to be the right size? That kind of thing. Have you seen changes in terms of consumer trust and basically how they are, and consumer behavior when it comes to online and adapting to this way of shopping now?
Absolutely. You know, the biggest thing for us when we were doing any sort of conversations around online and what was going to happen with online over the next couple of years, a year ago, we were always saying that the biggest threat or the biggest hindrance is people's worry around security, people's worry around how to actually transact online. And, you know, being forced to through the COVID situation, to actually use online, people have adopted it that much easier. But that's not the only story behind that. The reality is that there are 3 things that happened over the last year. The first is that every retailer that is worth their salt has got an online option now. Because there's so much competition online, the user experience is that much better, and the delivery or the actual receiving of goods has become that much more efficient. So the whole environment has become far more trustworthy. The threat around fraud, you know, being duped online and those kind of things still exist. But what a lot of people have started to understand is that buying online is not too different from buying in a bricks and mortar store, because you apply the same level of kind of caution. In the bricks and mortar world, you wouldn't leave your wallet on a table in the open. You wouldn't leave your PIN number together with your credit card. And that's the same kind of thing that people have learned in the online space. You do those same kind of things.
Okay.
Other things that have kind of driven online trade is, you know, new payment options. There's lots of different things that are enabling the online space at the moment.
Okay, so, you know, the other day I saw a tweet or an article about 2 major shopping malls here in South Africa now encouraging people, saying, you know, we're turning to more online, we're encouraging our retailers to have more online offerings. Are we likely to see the sort of death of the shopping mall, of the actual physical shop, do you think? Is it heading that way?
So absolutely not. You know, I think that's been a topic of many conversations over the last year, where everyone's saying, well, you know, does this mean the end for the mall? And the reality is that humans are social creatures. We want to go out, we want to see other people. But there's a new term that's being coined, and we're hearing it more and more, which is called clicks and mortar, as opposed to bricks and mortar. And what we're finding is that there's a far more a kind of blended environment where people are going to the malls, they're perusing products, they're checking online to see where they're getting the best price, and then following where they're getting the best deal. So it's this kind of integrated world that we're going to see more and more into the future, and we're not going to see one or the other. It's, you know, it's always a bit of both.